Here's something that might surprise you. Neuroscientists estimate we have around 6,000 thoughts per day, but research shows nearly 80% of those thoughts are negative and repetitive. Today, we're exploring how to take control of this mental chaos.
That's such a striking statistic. And it really explains why this book, Think Straight by Darius Foreau, has resonated with so many people.
You know what's fascinating about Foreau's approach? He draws heavily from William James's work, the father of American psychology, who struggled with severe depression before discovering how to master his own thought patterns. It's like getting a practical roadmap from someone who's actually navigated these mental challenges.
The way he connects historical insights to modern cognitive science is really compelling. How did you start applying his methods in your own life?
Well, I began with his concept of thought filtering, basically running each thought through 3 questions. Is it based on fact? Can I control it? Is it useful? What shocked me was discovering that about 70% of my daily worries were completely outside my control.
That reminds me of the research showing we spend nearly 47% of our waking hours lost in thought rather than focusing on the present moment.
Exactly right. And here's what's really interesting. Foreau explains that this mental wandering isn't just unproductive, it's actively harmful. Studies show that unfocused thinking increases cortisol levels by up to 40%, which directly impacts our decision-making abilities.
So how does he suggest we break out of these unproductive thought patterns?
He outlines this brilliant 3-step approach. First, practice what he calls thought awareness, literally tracking your thoughts for a few days. Second, implement regular mental breaks, structured periods of reflection. And third, use what he calls reality anchoring, constantly checking your assumptions against actual facts.
The way you describe that makes it sound so much more practical than typical mindfulness advice.
That's because he's really focused on results rather than theory. Like, he cites this fascinating study where people who practiced his thought filtering technique for just 10 minutes a day showed a 32% reduction in anxiety-related thoughts within 2 weeks.
Well, that's interesting. How does his approach differ from traditional cognitive behavioral therapy?
So, while CBT focuses on challenging negative thought patterns, Foreau's method is more about building what he calls mental infrastructure, creating systems that naturally lead to clearer thinking. He actually found that people who implement his framework make decisions 40% faster while reporting higher satisfaction with their choices.
You know what really stands out to me? The way he emphasizes that life isn't linear. It's such a refreshing perspective in our achievement-obsessed culture.
Oh man, that part really hit home for me. He references this study showing that successful people typically face 3.8 major setbacks for every significant achievement. It completely reframes how we should think about obstacles.
That's such a powerful insight for anyone feeling stuck or discouraged.
And what's really fascinating is how he connects this to neuroplasticity research. Our brains literally reshape themselves based on our thought patterns. Scientists have found that practicing intentional thinking for just 8 weeks can increase gray matter density in regions associated with learning and memory.
The practical implications of that are pretty incredible when you think about it.
They really are. And here's what I found most valuable: his technique for what he calls thought stacking. Instead of trying to eliminate negative thoughts, which research shows is nearly impossible, you learn to stack positive thoughts on top of them. Studies indicate this approach is 60% more effective than traditional positive thinking methods.
That makes so much sense from a neuroscience perspective. You're creating new neural pathways rather than trying to erase existing ones.
Exactly. And when you combine this with his journaling technique, which he developed based on research showing that written reflection increases learning retention by 29%, you create this powerful system for sustainable mental change.
Speaking of sustainable change, what about his ideas on decision-making under pressure?
Oh, this is crucial. He introduces what he calls the 72-hour rule for major decisions. Research shows that decisions made under immediate pressure have a 47% higher chance of being regretted later. By implementing this waiting period, you allow your prefrontal cortex to fully engage in the process.
That really challenges our culture's emphasis on quick thinking and instant responses.
You know what's wild? Studies show that people who take just an extra 30 seconds before responding to important questions make choices that are 23% more aligned with their long-term goals. It's about creating that tiny space between stimulus and response.
The implications for both personal and professional life are pretty significant.
Absolutely significant. And as we wrap up, here's what I think is most powerful about Faro's work. He's showing us that clear thinking isn't just about being more productive or successful. It's about creating a life that actually feels authentic to who we are.
That's such a perfect way to sum it up. It's really about quality of life, not just quality of thought.
Well, if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's that our thoughts might be the most valuable resource we have, and learning to manage them effectively could be the most important skill we'll ever develop.